Literally another series where the Astros win one game out of the series. What's new? I don't know. What's a win? We only got one win in this series. That's something that the Astros keep wanting to do. And I don't know at this point, man. Like when we go to game one, the much not really anticipated return of Tatsuya Imai happens, and literally, where is he? Oh, no, game one, not myself. That was game two. Game one is Peter Lambert, who has continued to just throw good games, like 7 innings, 6 strikeouts, 1 walk, 3 earned runs. That should be enough to win you a baseball game. But it's the Houston Astros right now, and they only score 1 run on how many times has this happened this year where the Astros out hit an opponent and lose the game by 2 runs, 2 or 3 runs?
Too many.
Too many. And I mean, and 13 strikeouts by the guys today. George Kirby. I mean, the Astros put some pitches on George Kirby. He only lasted 5 innings, but he walked 2 and struck out 7. And just the Mariners bullpen was lights out after that. Lights out. And this team is like they just can't hit right now. The one thing is that they can't hit. They're struggling. They're gonna have good decent games from the pitchers sometimes, and then when the pitchers start having decent games, the offense goes quiet. It's like you can't get both with this team. You either get one thing or the other.
Yeah,
And right now it's a mixture of both not doing well.
it seems like the theme is either you get an offensive battle where it's like 5-5, 6-6, 7-7, and like who wins that game, or the pitching does good, but the offense is like, one's good enough.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Stephen Okert and Brian King each give you scoreless innings, and this the thing. This the theme of this has just been it's just been boring. There's just been playing uninspiring baseball, non-competitive at bats. Just Zach Cole striking out 3 times, Jordan Alvarez striking out 3 times in game one. Just so many strikeouts, only 3 walks, and the opportunities they did have just weren't result. This They just didn't get the results in game one, and you're just like, here we go again. And then uh, Peter Lambert gets a loss in a game where you go 7 innings, 3 runs, 6 strikeouts. That's you got as a team. You got to feel terrible for not giving him any run support.
Yeah, and I think a big part of the reason why these games are boring is because you, even before the game starts, you already accepted you're going to lose. And even with the guy like Lampert on the mound, which is, by the way, not something I was thinking I would say in 2026 for the Houston Astros, you just are like, if we're going to win, today's the day we might win. And everything that could go bad, everything has gone bad. And this is like he said, there's nothing to inspire this team. I'm just gonna be brutally honest. I'm not saying Altuve is bad, but he shouldn't be in the leadoff. It's time to do something with him. It's part of the reason why I'm frustrated with Espada. Like you said off air, we need Taylor Trammell back, which we can't believe we said, or Braden Schumacher to bat leadoff. Something we just not like. It's hard to get inspired when nothing is different. Not even the lineup. The only thing that should stay the same is Jordan batting second. Mwah. Beautiful. Keep Jordan there. He's doing great. Then again, he probably would do great no matter where he bats. Um. Also, Walker should probably bat like behind Jordan at all times. Paredes just seems like a guy that now we should have traded, even though now we can't because we lost Correa. Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong, and I understand at the end of the day these are humans. Is a human managing, These are human players. But at the end of the day, someone's got to pay. And that guy is Espada. You have Lambert, a guy that's been one of your best pitchers all year. He has actually been one of the shining gems upon the sleeping pile of garbage that we call baseball this year. And you gotta win that game. I don't care who is it's against. And you just did not, especially out of a good outing. Like, and on top of that, you got to get rid of some guys. I'm sorry, you have to. LMJ has got to go. I'm sorry, we got to move on from a lot of these guys from the old core from that 2015 to sort of 2017 around there. I think it would be nice and refreshing if we just did. Um, it's clear that they're kind of done. I mean, LMJ I think has like a 5 ERA right now. Like he's not even being inspiring.
I
It's
mean,
I'm not saying like rebuild, but I am saying it's time to go into a new era because the guys that are stepping up are guys again like Arrighetti, Lambert, guys that are really young and really stepping up, really delivering. The new era. I think is time for us. Well, I say us like I'm like 20 years old, but you get the point. It's time for that new era to begin. Correa has foot problems. He should be gone. Some team will take him. He's only making 76 million because the Twins took over a lot of his contract. Paredes, okay, fine, we'll keep. He doesn't bat for high average anyway. He's just going through a slump. But bottom line is, I think as fans and at the organization in general, latched on to the past a little bit too strong. And I think with these young guys coming up and doing good, even Zach Cole doing good that one game, even though he did bad the next game. I think it's time we move forward to the future and see what happens. So I'm asking for a retooling, and that means also firing Spada. I think I think that generation should move on.
yeah, I mean, some valid points. Um, I mean, Joe Espada, I do agree. It's just based off a record alone, just not how he is as a manager. Yeah, I don't think he's the best manager in the world, but then at the end of the day, he's not going out there and swinging the bat and striking out 13 times as a team. That's just player execution, but it's just he's been dealt a bad hand. He has to said work with this bad hand, i.e., bad roster construction, injuries, everything, and it hasn't been working. It hasn't been working. Yes, not everything is his fault, but there comes a point where if if Joe Espada and Dana Brown are not, I think they're on the last years of their contract. If they're not going to be brought back next year, just rip the band-aid off and see what you got in Omar Lopez before you look externally to hire someone. You know,
Yes.
I don't think I'm not going to say that Omar Lopez fixes everything, but he has a small pedigree, winning the World Baseball Classic and everything. But if Espada's just a lame duck waiting to not get brought back next season, just rip the band-aid off, just need we just need something. We need anything to try and get this season back on track. And obviously, health plays a big factor in that. Player execution plays a big factor in that. But I don't know, man. It's just tough. As we move on to game two, Astros get stomped 10-2. This was Imai's return. Tatsuya Imai's return from the IL. He went on the IL after going less than one inning versus the Mariners like a month back. Only faced like literally, I don't think he even got an out in that. He maybe got one out in that outing versus the Mariners. He was terrible. Tatsuya Imai, 4 innings pitched, 5 hits, 6 earned runs, three walks, 3 strikeouts, allowed 2 home runs. I I understand that there's a struggle when coming from MPB to the MLB. There's a struggle, you know, whether it's culture, whether it's language, whether it's what time you pitch, whether it's, just overall conditions. But the Astros have bent over backwards to try and cater to him to see what he wants. Like Christian Vasquez this game, if you noticed in this game, Christian Vasquez was calling the game with hand signals to Tatsuya Imai. They were not using the pitch com. He was using his hand signals for Imai. And Imai, he only threw, I think, two types of pitches this game. I think he only threw like a splitter and something else. That was it. And what do you know? Dominic Canzone, he loads the bases. I want to say that inning started off with a walk to Randy Arozarena that barely missed being a strikeout by like zero point 0.2 inches. And then after that, loads the bases. Dominic Canzone hits a grand slam. It's 6-2. And it's just like, all right, time to go do something productive with my life.
Well, also, I think either me and you did, or I watched all by myself. Literally, the only approach was that they asked him, "Hey, how do you plan to for Amai to appoint the strike zone?" Oh, just throw strikes. I'm like, that's not a game plan. You're literally just telling him to go blindly, go aggressive. I'm like,
They're just trying to get him to do anything. Like, and it's tough seeing the guy who you're paying tons of money just struggle. I mean, he looks beat out there. And I will say, after the game, there wasn't any more like excuses. He came out, he owned it, says, he's got to be better. He expects more of himself, everything. So no excuses after tonight's game. Just he took ownership, which I'll take over the last couple of times. Randy Rosarena has killed us this series. I'd like to say he was on base against us. Like 12 or 13 times. He was just getting on base like crazy this series. He has a home run. Brandon Shoemake has just Brandon Shoemake has come out of nowhere, seemingly, and has just become the Astros starting shortstop, basically, in place of Carlos Correa until Pena gets back. He's been better than Nick Allen. He's making good contact. He's played solid defense. And listen, I'm not saying that Brandon Shoemake is going to be the next all-star shortstop, next Bobby Witt Jr.
oh
But he's
yeah,
hot. He's hot right now. The former Texas A&M Aggie, I think. One thing I noticed is that his batting stance is very reminiscent of Michael Brantley's, which I like. Hitting the ball the other way, hitting opposite field home run. It's just a breath of fresh air. Granted, I'm not going to expect that he's going to just keep this up because he doesn't have the track record to prove it. But you know, maybe we got something there. And when Pena does come back, I expect Shoemake to be you know the backup utility guy, backup shortstop over like Shea Whitcomb or Nick Allen.
yeah. Or maybe if they can train him to, maybe play left field.
I don't know if he could play left field. I don't know if he's played it, but I would have to do more research on that.
Yeah, because like once the team does get fully healthy, I'm like, and obviously this is a long ways away, but I'm like maybe they can give him reps in left field and see how that works.
Yeah, Christian Walker, he hit a double in this game, scored a run. JB Crawford single. Randy Rosarena hit a double again. He was just killing us. Then walk to score a run with the bases loaded. Canzone with the sacrifice fly. Jaden Murray and AJ Blueball both allowed 2 earned runs apiece. Just not a good game. Just and the Astros at this point, you already lost 2, and you're basically at this point just fighting to split the series. I mean, Brian Wu, 6 innings, 9 strikeouts. two earned runs, two walks. This Mariners pitching is the Astros kryptonite. The Astros seemingly just you face these guys like Brian Rue, George Kirby, the other guys, Elise Castillo, so much over the recent years that you think maybe they'd have enough data on them to game plan properly. But no, these Seattle starting pitchers just continue to dominate Astros hitting.
To be fair though, this Mariners pitching maybe outside of the Rangers, it's not only the best in the West, but maybe arguably the best in all the MLB. Arguably.
And I mean, even coming into these games, like Brian Wu coming into this game had an ERA above 4. George Kirby coming into this game had an ERA usually higher than they were. So they weren't like exactly. They were still doing really good, but they weren't like as elite as they had been. Considering the Mariners are still under 500 exiting the series. You know, the Astros kept Cal Raleigh in check most of this series as he's been on a pretty bad struggle. I do believe in game 3 he ended his like over 38 hitless streak.
Yeah, because we're the get right team.
Yeah, but I mean he didn't hit a home run, I think. But
yeah, he didn't.
Game 3, the Astros' lone win in this series is game 3, and you had a better start from Lance McCullers. Five and a third, 7 hits. He only allowed 2 walks, 6 strikeouts, 2 solo home runs though. I mean, solo home runs aren't the end of the world. It's just like when you allow a leadoff home run to JP Crawford, it just sets a bad tone for the rest of the game and puts a sour taste in your mouth. And then he locked in for the rest of the game, walked a couple guys, but the Astros tried to get 6 out of him. First batter he faced, I think the second batter he faced in the 6th was Luke Raley. He hit an opposite field home run, and the Astros pulled him for Steven Okert. Okert pitched 1 1/3 innings, 2 strikeouts. Bullpen did really good this game. De Los Santos, 1 1/3, 2 strikeouts. And then bottom of the 6th, the Astros get on the board after not really being able to hit Bryce Miller. And Bryce Miller, who was coming off an injury, I'm like, of course, he's coming off an injury and he's going to throw like 6 scoreless. Bryce Miller, he only threw 5 1/3, 3 strikeouts, 1 walk, and 2 earned runs. One of those earned runs would be an opposite field home run by Christian Walker. Nice to see that. Altuve walked with the bases loaded to tie the game. And then Jose Altuve, he got it in the bottom of the 8th. He got a sacrifice fly to give the Astros the lead. And going into the 9th, Brian King loads the bases. Right. Brian King has been pretty good all year, loads the bases, and allows a bases loaded walk to Julio Rodriguez. And this is just where you're like, here we go again. We just cannot win. And he does get out of it. Brian Abreu does pitch. He does pitch in the 10th inning. A little wonky, but he went scoreless. Brian Abreu has been getting better, would you say?
Yeah, he has been getting better. I'll say that. Brian Abreu, like,
build up that trade value,
Yeah, pretty much. Just build up the trade value. Because obviously, I don't think it's going to be anyone like that big, like Gordon or anything like that. But someone is going to be traded from the team probably at the deadline if they don't get it right.
Yeah, Shoemake once again. Shoemake had 2 hits in this game. 1,000 OPS. Bryce Matthews had 2 hits. Zach Cole was really good this game. He had 3 hits, and he hit the walk-off single to win this game for the Astros. So really promising to see from Zach Cole. But then we mentioned earlier he would in the next game be batted leadoff and go 0 for 5 with 3 strikeouts. But he did good in this game. So
yeah, one thing I like about Zach Cole, he's really athletic. And he does have pop when he makes contact. And like he's one of those guys that I do like to see step up in the plate. Like he's really fun to watch. So he's one of the bright spots in that lineup. That
He's fun to watch for sure, but he's just really got
yeah,
to get that strikeout rate under control.
yeah. And I'll be honest with you, even though he's had some decent at bats every now and again, I really do think we can do better, especially if we're gonna option Cam Smith down. I would like to option Bryce Matthews, and really call up someone else too.
Cam Smith had the day off today. He came in as a pinch hitter, and he actually did get a pinch hit single, but you know, move on to the next game where today's game where the Astros lose 8-3. Mike Burrows went on the bump today, and Mike Burrows is someone who I believe went 7 scoreless in his last outing versus Cincinnati. Not today. 5.5 and 2/3 innings, 8 hits, 7 runs, 7 earned, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts. Allows an immediate 3-run homer to Luke Raley in the first inning, and you're just like, yeah, we're losing
I was
this.
just watching the game pretty much like this.
We're numb to it at this point. We're comfortably numb. David Gilmour, Pink Floyd, whatever. If hopefully we don't
Yeah.
get copyrighted for that, but Jordan Alvarez 3-hit game. It always seems like Jordan Alvarez in like these games where we're already down, we've already lost the series, just decides to go off, and I'm like, I love you, Jordan, but it's like so depressing at this point. Mitch Garver hits a home run, Cole Young double, and another 2-hit game for Braden Shoemake, 2 RBIs. He would drive in 2 of the 3 runs scored this game, and I mean, if there was a player of the week for if for me, it's Braden Shoemake. He did very good, very very good, you know, and I'm very happy with the results that we've gotten from him.
Oh, for real. Mm, I don't think we can give enough praise to Braden Shoemake. Um, Again, like he's one of the players that I just think does everything right, at least so far. And he's been pressing us to the point where like I can see him as a full time starter. And like you said, I like his swing too. Like that he pulls everything away. And it seems like he just tries to make contact. That's what I like. And whatever happens, happens.
It's like he's not up there overthinking things. He's
No.
just
Like
Oh, what are you gonna say?
yeah, and also I think a big part of it is due to the fact that we got him from the Yankees minor league system, and this is his chance to actually like get a chance in the majors. So he's taking advantage of it.
I want to do a quick little search here. Braden Shoemake. Braden Shoemake was actually the 21st overall pick in the 2019 MLB draft. So he's a former first round pick, standout college shortstop from Texas A&M. So played college pretty close. He was a SEC Freshman of the Year. You know, maybe the Astros found another former top prospect that they can try to work with. I know Peter Lambert was a former top 100 prospect. So maybe we got something. I don't know. You don't go 19th overall in the draft for nothing. So
Yeah.
Cody Bolton would come in, sweep up the rest of the game, three and a third innings, 1 earned run, 2 strikeouts, 4 walks. You know, and the Astros lose the series. Paredes uncharacteristically striking out three times today. Paredes is not doing bad per se, but he is definitely not on the level that he was last year. Like, it seems like the power's just vanished. I'm like used to Isaac Paredes Crawford box home runs, and he's just not getting any lift on the ball. And for anyone who knows Isaac Paredes, he's never been a high exit velo guy, never been a solid launch angle guy, but he somehow found ways to pull the ball and get it into the Crawford boxes. But I don't know what's happened this year. I don't know if the bat speed has gone down, but I don't know. He's definitely more of trying to be a contact guy, but I don't know.
Yeah, I'm telling you, we just need like like if it was up to me, we would have almost like a complete rehaul. The only difference is I would put Omar Lopez at manager. That's like the only thing I would keep.
If according to Isaac Paredes' baseball savant page, he is his hard hit percent rated. His hard hit percent is very low in the blue. His barrel rate is very low. Average exit velo is low. Expected slugging's low. Expected WOBA low. I mean, his whiff and K rate is elite, but his chase rate has gone up. You know, he's not barreling any balls. That's just a problem. He's not barreling any balls or hitting balls hard, you know, according to Baseball Savant.
Man,
I've noticed a lot more pop-ups from him. He's getting on top of balls, but Cam Smith, he went over 4. He didn't strike out, he didn't walk, but dude, Cam Smith, I really like Cam Smith. I think he has all the athleticism and tools in the world to be a 5-tool player. I know the power's there. I know the athleticism there. He's an amazing defender out there. But ever since he got hot a month ago, he's now batting 203 with an OPS at 618. That is so bad. Like it's putrid. So I honestly, yeah, his defense is great, but you have guys like Zach Cole and Joey Loperfido who may not be yet as good, but they're still good defenders. And I think Cam Smith might need to spend a couple weeks in AAA when those guys come back because he seemingly hit another wall and is showing no signs of getting out of it anytime soon.
yeah, and to me, him and Bryce Matthews both need to go back to AAA if possible because Bryce, to me, he at least with the eye test, he misses even when balls are like really hittable to him.
He should only play on the road. His numbers on the road are really good, but for some reason he can't hit at home.
Yeah, like he even took a pitch I think once in the series that was like almost like right down the middle, and
Yeah,
but and then pitches that he should like absolutely crush to the cross boxes or anywhere, he swings and whiffs at them, and I'm like, he needs to go back to AAA along with Cam Smith as a package. And you know what? If they raise their stock even over there, I'm sorry to say this, but yeah, there you go. There's two guys that you can use probably to get another pitcher.
I don't think they're trading Cam Smith. I feel like they think too highly of him
Well,
to
I'm just
trade.
saying. I'm just
Yeah,
saying their options.
they're options, but very unlikely options. I
Yeah,
mean, maybe Bryce Matthews, but you know, definitely not Cam Smith.
yeah.
And I mean, I feel like a lot of Astros fans are starting to realize that the Astros have pretty much almost wasted now 2 years of Cam Smith's service time to say when Cam Smith finally gets it going, you only get like 2 or 3 years left of him before you have to re-sign him, you know?
I'll give Cam Smith this. It took Jeremy Pena like 2 to 3 years to find it. Let's give him one more year
Yeah.
and see if he can find it.
Yeah, Jeremy Pena after that 22 World Series run was pretty mid, you know, at the plate, couldn't really get it going and then finally got it going. So I'll give him the benefit of the doubt, but it is just
Yeah,
unbearable to watch him at the plate right now.
yeah. I don't think Pena was ever this bad. I'll give you that. But yeah,
Mm. So that's the series. Astros drop drop 3 of 4. And I mean, even if the Astros do once players come back and get healthy, if the Astros go on some crazy run and say they're in a wild card race with the Mariners or with them for the division, and it comes down to a game or two, it doesn't matter because the Astros are not going to have the tiebreaker with them.
and now that I think about it, you know how you can usually tell a good baseball player, like a good MLB solid baseball player, from like one that deserves to be in the minors. Like, let me ask you a question. If you had to describe Cam Smith as like hot zone, how would you just like? Where do you think he
He
Pitchers
doesn't
should
have
avoid
a
him.
he doesn't have a hot zone. He really
How,
doesn't at this moment.
yeah, how about Bryce Matthews?
Because I've seen Cam swing at pitches in the strike zone, like decent pitches. He's just not making contact with the bat.
Because I was just thinking, like, even Jeremy Pena, when he was like a rookie, and even when he was like terrible, he still had a hot zone.
Jeremy Pena's issue was
Take some sliders
outside
away.
was chasing sliders away, you know.
Yeah. I'm like,
But
so yeah.
Cam Smith just flat out can't hit anything in the zone. I mean, yeah, he'll get hits. He's also been extremely unlucky as well, but it's the pitches the balls aren't dropping, and he's hitting it right at the defender or in the ground or striking out.
Yeah, I think that's how when you feel really comfortable with the batter up there. Because so far, Brandon Schumach's hot zone is probably down in the zone where he can lift something.
Yeah, he's hitting the ball the other way. Just like I said, he reminds me a little bit of Michael Brantley. His stance is similar. His opposite field approach is similar. Just one thing I noticed is that when the other teams who come here to play us, they take advantage of the Crawford boxes. Like Luke Raley's home run, I'm pretty sure would not be a home run in like any other stadium except for Houston, because the ball was slicing and slicing and went right into that like little corner of the Crawford boxes. And when the Astros pitchers make a mistake, the other teams, they hit that mistake out of the park. When the other pitchers make a mistake when the Astros are facing up, they still strike out or hit the ball into the dirt or something.
Yeah, so they need to work on creating like a swing path that they're actually good at instead of going out there and just swinging like, I hope I make contact. Oh boy. Oh
Like
boy.
Zach Cole, he only has like one swing path on him. Like I've seen it. It only goes like one way, and the only way he makes contact is if the ball's in that path.
Yeah, Zach Cole is good with pitches, like at least from what I've seen of him, of like middle and like low, and then I guess I would say inside too a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And then, kind of the final thing I want to talk about aside from the games is this kind of the media aspect of this. The This was a division. This was a home series against a division rival, and the stadium was empty all games. The stadium was dead all games. The fans are losing interest. The Astros, I'm not sure if you guys saw on social media, were offering all you can eat food vouchers for the game against the Rangers coming up. You know, the Astros social media guy said like over under how do 5,000 fans wear a jersey to this game type thing. It's just some of the games are just so quiet you could hear a pin drop in there, and this is really taking me back to those 2013 2014 crowds where there's only 10 to 15,000 fans a game. The tickets are getting cheaper. It's just, yeah, there were moments where they got loud because, obviously the walk off, of course, but the fans are starting to not show up anymore and not care.
so basically what you're saying is bring back Chris Carter and Bo Porter. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, if Chris Carter
yeah,
if Chris Carter can grab a bat and hit 40 home runs, I'll take it. But
yeah. Oh man, Brent Wallace. Yeah. Oh boy, dark times. Matt Dominguez. Anyone remember that?
the dark days,
Yeah.
man.
Jimmy
Because I
Paredes.
I remember I when I used to live in Houston, I lived in 2013. Me and my family would go to games all the time because the tickets were like $5. The parking was like $10. There'd be like 10,000 fans there.
Yeah, you know what's funny? That guy that we ended up trading to Miami, I believe it was. His name was Jarrett Cozart. I think even he was better than like almost all of our starters.
Jared Cozart went on a little run. I
Yeah,
I've met Jared Cozart a handful of times at like when the Astros did like the Caravan Whataburger meetups.
yeah.
So he was a cool dude. He was a cool dude.
Yeah, he was viewed as like an average, pitcher, maybe potential ace at some point.
He
But
was one of our top prospects.
oh yeah, he was.
Real ones remember Lucas Harrell, dude.
Oh, dude, I do. Yeah. Uh,
That dude was so bad, but
yeah. Oh man, we're going back to when like Dallas Keuchel was like holding on to a job by like thin air because like he was getting older and older. We were literally questioning like whether he should be on the team. Then he
and then
just randomly.
he sold his soul for that 2015 Cy Young.
Yeah, yeah. Oh my goodness. Ah, good, but also like really dark times to live.
That 2015 team was really fun because you had rookie Carlos Correa, Jose Altuve in his prime, Cy Young, Dallas Keuchel, Colby Rasmus, Evan Gaddis, Luis Valbuena, rest in peace. But that team was fun.
Oh, Luis Valbuena, he was so fun to watch. I love his batting stance and everything. And
Rest in peace, bro.
for me, it was a big deal when we got Dexter Fowler.
I remember Dexter Fowler.
Yeah, when we acquired Dexter Fowler, I was like, "Oh my god!" I'm like, "This team."
I'm like, we're going places. We're going
Yeah,
places.
exactly. That was a big deal at the time. Yeah, for us at least. Kobe Rasmus, obviously, which by the way, I think has the highest batting average in the playoffs. Yeah, of any hitter in history. That's a little fun fact. Uh, yeah, and that team smoked. We crushed the Yankees. Like that was when we went to the 2015. I think it was we were in the wild card and we were against the Yankees because I forgot who won the East at the time. It was the Rays or the Boston. I don't know. And we had to face the Yankees. We were so nervous. And then Kobe Rasmus and that team kick their butts. And I was just like, oh wow, this is it. I'm like, and I hope it continues. And then it did. And not only that, with draft picks and all that. And I think George Springer barely made that team. I'm not sure though. That
Yeah,
2015 too.
That was George Springer's first full season.
Yeah, good times. But
Good times. Everything must come to an end though
yeah,
with this team, unfortunately.
hopefully it's a new era though soon. And you know, the front offices that be get their crap straight because like with all these like fans not showing up and all that, if you're the owner, like I said with Jim Crane, you got to make a move eventually. Rather
Mhm.
it's telling Dana to go make more moves, or it's like firing a spot. Something's got to
Hang
give.
in there, Astros fans, as Dana Brown says on the radio every week
Yeah,
on Wednesday.
yeah. Something's got to give.
We're gonna turn a corner.
Be
We're still a really good
optimistic.
team.
Be optimistic, guys. Even though we haven't really gave you a reason to.
I'd be more optimistic looking down the barrel of a what, but
Yeah, I would be more optimistic about Brent Wallace making a comeback or trying to, and as like a, I don't know, as a DH, I guess.
well, the Astros are probably gonna win one game next series, maybe against the Rangers.
By the way,
Rangers have good pitching.
before we get off here, speaking of those teams, we got to give all the love to Jason Castro. He was our man
Castro the
back then.
Astro. I love Jason
Yeah,
Castro.
yeah,
Astros face some good pitching against the Rangers, but let's just try to win more than one game in a series. Let's try and win a series. Let's have the offense do offense things. Let's have the pitching do good pitching things. Just I'm just asking for anything at this point. I'm desperate, like the Astros front offices, to get fans back in the seats.
yeah. Literally anything. Because like as much as we reminisce about those days, we don't want a guy like Jason Castro being our most threatening hitter again.
I mean, Brandon Shoemaker is our most threatening hitter right now, besides Jordan.
Yeah, true. Good grief.
All right, that's gonna do it from us today. We'll be back to talk about the Rangers
Uh,
series, hopefully on a more positive note. But we've said that every time for the past couple series, and it hasn't been. But
yeah.
We once again we love and appreciate you guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. I'm Noah.
I
I'm
didn't think
Noah.
about that.
I'm Noah. That's Seal. And we'll see you guys next time. Go
Peace.
Stros.